Hello and welcome to PolyInnovator. My name is Dustin, PolyInnovator, and this is the Now Page Update number 13, August 2021. Now, I have to start off with an apology because I am a few days late. I'm sure that to some people this may not matter as much, but my goal is to do it on the first day every month, kind of going over what I did the last month and what I'm trying to focus on with the next coming month. And so when I'm late, it kind of screws up that flow.
Dustin Miller, PolyInnovator.
I realized that on my calendar, it stopped propagating on the first, hey, do this update. And I guess last month I must have accidentally deleted it or something like that, causing myself to not realize it was past the first until the third. And now it's been a couple days since I realized that, but I got the post written, I'm doing the video now, and so we're doing this. Part of the issue has been I've been focusing on teaching swim lessons in my fitness classes and admin work for the pools, and I'm getting close to burnout. And I think that because my hours triple in the summer, and this summer especially has been very difficult, it's been causing me to lose my energy and lose my drive. And I'm super happy to be working for my boss. It's nothing like that I don't want to be doing this. I'm glad I am, but I'm feeling that burnout that I felt before. And it's weird because the last two times I felt it, in 2017 when I hit burnout really bad and actually stopped doing things, and then this past year where I basically hit it a little bit but managed to crawl myself out of it before it really got bad. I was doing it because of content. Content made me go into burnout. Now, content isn't what actually makes it hard for me. I don't mind sitting here editing a video, although I have not had the patience and I've been procrastinating a lot lately, which is why the videos have been slow to come out. However, now this burnout has been coming because of my work, which is just a new feeling for me, and it's interesting. Other than that, I've been really focusing on what kind of content to create. This first phase, if you want to call it that, has been around the modular degree. And it started out with my do-it-yourself education, eventually going more towards that modular education ideal. And I wanted to release it to the world, but I really don't think I'm able to do that yet. I've tried giving templates and creating content around it, although since I've been focusing on the interviews, it really kind of changed to a new phase. The interviews became this phase. And it just happened. And that's the one thing about not only polymathy, but I think the phases in general and just interleaving your focus is that sometimes things pop up that you don't realize. And that's one reason why I created a modular degree too, is that some things you want to learn. Like I want to learn how to do music production, for example, or learn how to do content creation. And that pops up and you don't realize that you're changing your focus onto something like that. These phases were a way for me to describe, not only to other people, but to myself, what am I focusing on? What is my brain really interested in doing? And actually, what can I do with that? And so the phase right now has been around getting these interviews out, basically, because I have a whole bunch of people waiting for me patiently. And so I've been wanting to do 3 times a week, but since I've been procrastinating so much, I've been barely able to get one of them out. So I'm hoping that with a recoat of paint for the PolyInnovator brand, kind of giving it a new look and feel really, I can start creating more content more excitably. And then on top of that, changing the focus will allow me to also change my motivation and be more interested in doing work more often. And so what I was planning on doing, since I am approaching the end of the Polycast season anyways, I only have one more interview before the season ends, I'm going to release that interview with Dr. Feldman, and then I'm going to start the new season with all the other interviews and hopefully do 3 times a week with some micro polycasts in there as well as some Omni content ideally as well, because I really need to get that back going in because the Omni content was one of the greatest ways of interleaving the phases. That was kind of the mentality behind creating that series in the first place, was that I could sow the seeds for future phases, talk about the current phase, and then even go back and review or talk about old phases again to keep that continuation going. So if someone joined me during the modular degree phase, but they don't care about the exercise phase, they can still get the content they signed up for. And that was a really exciting idea. I don't think many creators really treat it like that. They don't treat it as cycles or continuations or interleaving, that kind of mentality. And so that's what I wanted to do with that. I know I got stuck with that multidisciplinary spectrum. I think what I might do is get rid of the numbering system for the Omni content, at least publicly, and I'll keep it in the backlog, and then just maybe skip around a little bit, create whatever Omni content I want to create at that time, or perhaps still kind of keep somewhat of the order, because the order was specified towards the way I envision the future phases, such as the next one being exercise, and in particular with the exercise, swimming. Swimming is something I've been teaching for nearly a decade now. I've taught over 1,000 students of any age, all the way from little babies, usually no less than 2 years old, but even babies still like 6 months old too at some points with the parent and child classes, all the way up to someone in their 80s or 70s. And teaching everybody from every age shows the different psychological aspects behind it, shows that their physical body may not be able to do the physics of the swimming, or they can do it. It just depends on age and abilities and that kind of thing. And all these variable factors made me realize there are so many things that people don't even realize when it comes to swimming. I always say I could teach Michael Phelps something new because there might be some particular perspective he has not yet seen. Same with other Olympic swimmers as well. And I think that by putting it into a book and some content, I can distill it enough to where people of a wide range all over the world can take that idea that I'm trying to share with my swim lessons. And so instead of teaching just 1,000 people, or in my lifetime 10,000 people, I can teach millions. Now, that book is not going to be the end-all be-all. I'm going to have more after that, presumably, as well, because I can't distill all the stuff I teach just into that one book. But I want to get a very cohesive, polymathic view on swimming through that book for people to really absorb and be like, okay, this is really helpful. And no matter what level you're at, beginner or advanced, you'll benefit from reading it. And that's also the book that I've written the most of. I had another book around the ULC, which is a previous endeavor of mine for those who are unaware. However, I don't really feel like releasing that just yet, and I haven't finished writing it too. There's a certain style of writing it that I wanted to work on, and I still need to refine that. So, putting that to the side, the only other book I've really worked on that I'm passionate about is at this moment, is that swimming book. And it's also the most further along, because I figured, okay, let's revamp the PolyInnovator brand around this new idea of focusing on a new phase. The next season of the Polycast will do all the interviews, and any content I create is going to have this swimming aspect behind it, as well as it'll be a great way to start making income online as well. I can provide information that I know for a fact will help people, and then I can feel comfortable receiving income either for the book or for courses or something like that. And I think it's a good way of bringing things together and starting anew, a little fresh, to get things going even better. Now, I try to keep these little updates not too long, so I'm going to end it here. If you have questions, leave them down in the comments. Come message me. Go check out the article. I always try to keep the article and video related, but somewhat different, so that way you can experience things in two different ways. Thank you, and bye.